Sorry, SNA fans. I guess the streaming limit has or the streaming has reached its limit, and I need to make a second clip of the AEW Homecoming post show edition of Dynamite. But anyway, that's what I was saying onto this gauntlet match, this casino gauntlet. This is where we got Will Ospreay nearly hitting him with the hidden blade back elbow. But this is where Jay White stepped back smartly, like even though he was cowardly taking the move, but in a smart, in a rightful smart way. And this is where they like, oh, like it's you, like Jay, like Will, like long time no see, like we haven't seen one another since last year before making the jump to All Elite Wrestling. And then this is where they're like, yeah, like he's like, yeah, like how's it going, like he was like, yeah, like it's like yeah, like it's a good old reunion we're having here right now. And this is where Will Ospreay, yeah, agree. And then this is where fans are chanting "Holy Sugar" and the Iced Tea. Like, luckily, they weren't censoring it out like they would do in WWE and weekly television, like NXT, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw, especially. But this is where they shook hands. This is where Jay White then psyched him, and this is where he raked him in the eye and started trying to gouge his eyes out. Like, and this is where he hits a big knife edge chop, which Gunther was not really pleased. He must have been in number 9 because he wasn't really far away from Alexis King, like from yesterday, which Alexis King was almost at number 1, if not already. This is where we got Will Ospreay then answer back with a knife edge chop of his own, which he's probably number 10. He didn't hit 1, he didn't hit the hard as much, and 2, he did it soon after, right after. And it may have been not much, but still was provoked right onto the ring general. This is where then we got Will Ospreay then going right from the right to the left. This is where that's where Jay White rolled out of the ring. He was like, "No, I can't take it. I need to take a breather." This is where then he got caught off guard by Dante Martin for like a good 5 seconds because he kicked him right in the gut. This is where he run right in the right side, drove back to the middle. This is where he tried to run and try to get some crossbody, but he gets intercepted with a what's that? This is where he hits him with a Spanish fly. This is where he tries to go for a pin. Dante Martin kicks out, surprisingly, at 2.999999, double triple 9 minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where we saw the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer coming in the ring now. This is where, like, at number 6, was number 6? Yeah. And then this is where, like, Will Ospreay was head to chest with the Murder Hawk monster. He's like, yeah, you haven't fought nobody this big before, have you, Mr. Assassin? And this is where he started hitting forearms right into the face of what's his name, Lance Archer. But when Lance Archer got a chance of striking the aerial assassin, he made it count for sure without any repeat the movement, because he had a big right hand that knocked him out cold. And he probably would have won right then and there if it wasn't for Kyle O'Reilly distracting him, like, and Penta El Cielo Miedo. But no matter, he hit him with clothesline after clothesline right onto the two guys. And this is where Jay White to try to come in and try to protect his privilege of winning the match by trying to attack him, which I'm not sure if it was doing himself any favors by doing that, because he got a hold right out of Lance Archer into a double full Nelson. This is where then he falls. This is where he turns it into a reverse DDT kind of position. This is where, like, a Scorpion Death drop, more likely. This is where we got Dante Martin to try to go up right on top. And he did not know what move he was hitting, which that was a ginormous mistake from the Top Flight member. This is where he got caught into the right hands of Lance Archer right around the neck. This is where the Murder Hawk monster then chokes up right onto Dante Martin, right through Jay White, crushing both men at once at the same damn time. This is where the Lance Archer's like, yeah, I'm back here, and I'm going to get a shot at a championship. And this is where Penta was like, no, like, not if I have anything to do about it. And they start hitting right hands, like, boom, boom, boom. They started mixing around some fists around the noggin of the Murder Hawk monster. This is where then he tried to Irish whip him right to the right, but this is where Lance Archer turned him around through him instead. This is where then he hits a big shoulder tackle right onto Penta. Then he grabbed Kyle O'Reilly around the neck. This is where he tried to go for a choke slam, but Kyle O'Reilly reversed into a guillotine choke. like since Roman Reigns is no around, like do the move and start accusing him of using the guillotine choke, but he's been using it for years. So Roman Reigns will be kind of a hypocrite for doing that, for judging him of doing that move, and he didn't even, and he's not even the one that even invented the move. He just used it under his arsenal because it looks like a move that will fit his character. Like if he ever had a submission hold, which some say like he never had a submission move ever before until now, which he found like into this at the situation. But anyways, this is where what's his name? Lance Archer then hit a right elbow right into the face of Kyle O'Reilly. This is where then he turned around and went to the bottom right side, trying to go for close up. This is where Will Ospreay did kick him right in the face. This is where he went right in the middle ropes. This is where then the aerial assassin then try to go for a top rope move, perhaps Os cutter, like jumping right on the turn. I mean, right on the right side ropes. But this is where like he gets picked off by Lance Archer and gets knee strike right onto the face. This is where then Lance Archer then picks him up and got him in a reverse razor's edge kind of position with his belly facing Lance Archer's back of his head. But he tossed him right on the outside and the right onto the floor. And this is where then Lance Archer like, yeah, this is going to be my match. This is where he went right into the right side. This is where he grabbed onto a table, I guess, giving the fans what they want. But this is where he started fighting the likes of Jay White and Penta, throwing Penta right to the right side of the ropes. This is where then he grabs onto the switchblade, trying to go for a Uranagi slam. But this is where we got That's where instead he didn't do it onto the table. He instead did it on the hardest part of the ring in the bottom corner, which is the ring apron. And then this is where we got him was continuing the brag. It was like, yeah, this is my moment. And this was like, and everybody had no choice but to I had no choice but to be acknowledging me in AEW. And I was like, hopefully this is not a nod to him trying to be the next Roman Reigns or be the Roman Reigns or the tribal chief of AEW, I should say. This is where then he tried to go for a choke slam right onto Jay White. But this is where Commander with a K came in at number 7. And I was like, man, this is a very long match with so many guys, so many different guys in this match, including a Will Ospreay participating in this Casino Gauntlet match. And I was like, gee, like, what's the reward like on whoever wins this match? And we figured that one out at the end of the match. But yeah, this is where we got what's his name, Commander with a K, and went right into the ropes. This is where he tried to go for Hurricane right onto the outside. Like this is where trying to throw him right to the table, like which he successfully did. Well, at least fully successful right to the left side of the Hurricane Rana. And I was like, man, like no wonder they didn't announce that many matches, because there were about that much matches for the post-show homecoming edition of AEW Dynamite tonight. But still, besides that, and not really much matches, like they still delivered, definitely. Like and this was definitely the 4th match of the night. Like under what's her name, Mina Shikala, and against Anna Jay, and then Swerve and over Swerve Strickland against Kyle Fletcher, and the main event match for the IWGP World Championship, Jon Moxley against Powerhouse Will Hobbs. But anyway, this is where we got Commander then going for a Hurricane Rana doing right to that set of that table. This is where then the Commander with a K then went right onto the right side ropes. This is where then they try to go for a springboard senton right onto the inside the ring. But this is where we got This is where then he kicks him right in the gut. This is where he runs right into the left side. But this is where they go for a slide sweeping kick right up in the face in the air. This is where then he try to go for a step up Giri. But this is where we got what's his name? Commander with a K ducks out of it. This is where we got Commander then going for a leg sliding kick right into Will Ospreay's back and pushing him right towards the right side. This is where then he run and up to him hit a flying going for what's that a flying head scissors like about like 10 different times, like in 10 different ways. And this is where he finally hits him with the DDT. And I was like, man, I haven't seen nobody, nobody, not even Rey Mysterio could even hit this move, even though he does the flying head scissors and DDT, but not the way not gravity, not the way Commander with a K did it. This is where we got him then going up and sliding back down. This is where he tried to go for a pin. Jay White then went for the save and then an axe handle right onto Commander. This is where he hits him with a spinning Uranagi slam right onto the Commander. This is where then he goes for a pin, but this is where the referee counted 1, the referee counted 2. But this is where we got Commander then got the shoulder up at 2.6, I believe. This is where Jay White's like, oh, come on, like this should have been it. This is where then Jay White to try to go for a Blade Runner right onto Will Ospreay. This is where Will Ospreay then roll out of it, like flipping right over Jay White's head and counter out of the Blade Runner. This is where then he got him right into a power bomb, right, hit him with a sit-out power bomb, actually, right in the middle of the canvas. This is where he knew he got the 3, and fans hearts were beating fast. I don't know how I knew that, but anyway, this is where referee counted 1, referee counted 2, but this is where Jay White got the shoulder up at 2.9999999 before the referee can even then tap the mat tap the mat before he can even say 3. But this is where Will Ospreay then was like time to crank up the elbow pad. This is where he tried to go for the this is where he tried to go for the hidden blade strike. But this is where we saw the surprising return of the lethal injector of professional wrestling, Jay Lethal. And I was like, where have we seen this man at? And this is where he headed out to the ring is number 8 into this gauntlet match. This is where Will Ospreay's like, what the hell? And then this is where he goes, kicks him in the gut, hits a right hand. This is where Jay Lethal answer right back with a right hand of his own. This is where they start hitting forearms right to their faces, playing wrestling tennis a little bit until Will Ospreay kicks him right in the gut, bounces him right off the right side corner ropes, Irish him to the left. This is where then he tried to go. Jay White, Jay Lethal counters out of it. This is where then he hits him with a hip toss right onto the aerial assassin. This is where he hits him with follows it up with a middle drop kick right into with a leg slap. This is where then we got Dante Martin. They try to come in the ring and try to close on Jay White, but Jay White dodges out of the way, hits him with a backbreaker and a face buster. This is where we got Penta El Zero Miedo, then kicks him right in the gut. This is where then he did the hand face. He was like, no way, Jose, no way, Jay-Z. And this is where he's like, no, and I'm not talking about the rapper, even though I say Jay-Z, not Jay-Z. But anyways, this is where then he Irish whipped Jay Lethal right into the bottom rope. This is where then This is where then I went right to the bottom corner side. This is where then we got Jay Lee flips him into a sunset flip. But this is where he goes. This is where then he goes for that springboard maneuver. Try to go for a rolling somersault springboard right onto the top corner, right onto Penta El Ziedo Miedo. This is where then Jay White then came in. This is where he's like, remember me? Like I remember your worst nightmare, and I'm the better Jay in this company. This is where he tried to go for the Blade Runner right onto Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal flips out of it, they try to go for a discus elbow, but this is where he gets hit with a half Nelson Dragon suplex right on in the middle of the ring. This is where then he picks up the This is where he then picks up Jay Lethal, try to go for the Blade Runner, but this is where he cannot get any luck, even though he wasn't cursed. He was rather than interfered by by Dante Martin before he could even hit the move. Otherwise, it would probably would have been a guaranteed. Yeah, if it wasn't for that meddling. If it wasn't for that meddling high flyer, then he would have gotten away with that. But yeah, pure common sense in pro wrestling. But anyways, this is where we got then we got Dante Martin. Then went face to face with Jay Lethal. This is where Jay Lethal didn't try to spear him out of the ring. Like this is where we got Jay Lethal didn't do it for a backflip somersault. This is where we got Kyle O'Reilly to try to go for a big forearm, but this is where we got Dante Martin dodged out of the way. He hits a forearm right to his face. This is where we got Dante Martin to try to go for a step-up insecurity, but this is where Kyle O'Reilly stomps him in the back of the head, hits a discus forearm, and then this is where we got Will Ospreay coming in. This is where we're trying to go for elbow strike right onto the aerial assassin, but this is where he gets ducked out of this, and this is where we try to go for like some kind of a ripcord maneuver, but this is where we got Kyle O'Reilly with that back elbow to stop him. This is where he started getting some kicks, left, right, slap, left, right, knee strike, left leg, try to go for a sliding kick, but this is where Will Ospreay then dodges out and leapfrogs over Kyle O'Reilly's leg, lower leg sliding kick, but this is where Ospreay, leapfrogs, super kicks O'Reilly right into the face. This is where O'Reilly then rolls right between the middle ropes and the top rope into a wheelbarrow rebound clothesline. I don't understand why I got that mixed up. But anyway, this is where Will Ospreay counters out of it. This is where he flips over it, try to go for a powerbomb, but this is where Kyle O'Reilly flips out of that and hits a spinning elbow right into the face. This is where then we got Will Ospreay to hit a super kick. This is where we got a guaranteed rebound clothesline where Kyle O'Reilly fighting back. Well, not really. No, that wasn't a guarantee. Like he nearly did it, but this is where Ospreay then intercepts and hit a big back hidden blade elbow strike right into the face of the former Ring of Honor and IWGP and NXT Tag Team Champion. And then he got the 1, 2, 3. Oh no, not the 3. No, that wasn't it. But yeah, he got the guaranteed hidden blade elbow strike. He nearly got the 3, but once the referee was on his way going to 3, this is where Kyle O'Reilly got the shoulder up, and fans were very, 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 very shocked, and they were very, 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 very. What's that? Surprised. They were shocked and surprised that Kyle O'Reilly kicked out at 2.999, double triple 9, dozen 9, minus 0.1 away in 3. And I was like, oodle alley. Like, Kyle O'Reilly literally kicked out. I thought that was it right there for sure. But this is where Will Ospreay's like, none of that matters. Like, I'm going to get him right onto the – and this is where he tried to go – and then this is where he thinking about going for the Os cutter, but this is where he was like, no, I'm going to hit him with this Tiger Driver. This is where Will Ospreay was like, wait, and he was realizing what before trying to hit the Tiger Driver, he promised to not use this move ever since he nearly injured Bryan Danielson with that move. This is where then he's like, you know what? Forget it. Like, I'm not going to hit this move. Like, you better be safe than sorry because I don't want to make another wrestler to be nearly get injured because it's all my fault. This is where he waited a bit too long on what move to hit next. He should, and this is where Kyle O'Reilly hit a body drop right on the Will Ospreay when he took it back. Like, because because he was thinking about he was having flashbacks. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot I said on the media scrum I'm retiring the move, and because you never know what could happen next. Like after hitting that move onto one of these opponents, Tony Khan would approve of me using the move, but I promised everybody that I'm not going to use that move ever again. Right, but this is where we got Kyle O'Reilly then go right onto the armbar after hitting him with a body drop. This is where then Will Ospreay then try to grab onto his hand, so he wouldn't get fully locked in with the cross armor. This is where luckily Commander with a K was there for the save, but only for his advantage, because he run right on over the top rope. This is where he gets the shooting star press, the dip springboard shooting star press right onto not Will Ospreay, Kyle O'Reilly, and then this is where he tried to go for a pin, but yeah, this is where Will Ospreay didn't move out of the way, and this is where Commander with a K forgot Ospreay was even still in the match. This is where then Ospreay pushes him, push him out of the way and hits him with a big. What's that Os elbow? What's that? Not the Os elbow. It's the hidden blade elbow strike right into the face, knocking him right off. And yeah, he got a third time as the charm, like and got super duper whooper lucky onto that, like, which I believe he got some kind of a third time as the charm card. This is where then Ospreay then go for a pin right on the Commander with a K. He got the 1, 2, 3, and the winner of this match, Will Ospreay, and he remains undefeated in AEW. And I want to give a humongous congratulations to the Aerial Assassin of successfully doing so in this gauntlet match. And then this is where we got. And this is where we'll have Will Ospreay will indeed face Roderick Strong for the AEW International Championship. And it was so close with Kyle O'Reilly, but if it wasn't for Commander with a K, it might have would. But maybe it's for the best that the Aerial Assassin will get a spot like this. And do you think he will indeed defeat Roderick Strong? You never know. Like, and they're trying to continue to push him over the move and light a bonfire right under him. Like, so why not pull the trigger and push him to the moon, like, and fly up there and finally become AEW Championship Gold, and that can start off with the International Championship. But let me know in the comment section right down below on what's your opinion and what's your thoughts onto this matter. Like, Will Ospreay is your new number one contenders match? Your new number one contender after winning this match. Match to see who's going to be Roderick Strong's next opponent at the next pay-per-view at Double or Nothing, which we're going to probably see plenty of hype ups like on the road to AEW Double or Nothing. With the Don Callis family getting involved against the Undisputed Kingdom and start trying to tease if they could possibly turn babyface, which there's a high chance that there's a doubt that there never ever will be. Don Callis will get involved and try to get have back of the Aerial Assassin on the way. But Will Ospreay's like, thank you for the offer of have my back, but I don't need it because I fought 10 different guys before, and this. And this don't have no match for that, and this has no match of comparison of my past experiences. So I'll be 100% good, even though I will be outnumbered. And no, I'm not good at my I'm not good with my wrestling match because I'm the A word. Like, no, not the cuss word, but just the word that's different. Like tistic. Tistic. But anyways, yeah, let me know in the comments below. Hopefully that joke was not too offensive to Will Ospreay of saying he don't know how to do his wrestling match. But let me know if that was funny. Like, if I got y'all's entertained, had y'all entertained by saying that. But anyways, let's move on to the next slide. But before we get there, this is where we got the Undisputed Kingdom with Roddy Strong coming in face to face with Ospreay. He was like, "I will be that international championship and represent my home native country in the UK, and I will defend it at my home city in my home city in my home country at Wembley Stadium at AEW All In Part 2. Like, you wait and see. Like, it's gonna start, and it's all gonna start on AEW Double or Nothing. And then it's like, nobody's not gonna stop that and take that away from me." And that's where Roderick Strong was like, "Oh yeah, I like to see that. Like I guess I'll be seeing you like in the MGM or T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, like if not sooner." Which I believe they will see each other again sooner. Even if they do a hype video like next week, they still could show up and go face to face, whether if it's a promo segment or even a contract signing segment. But either way, what it could possibly be, like, let me know right down in the comment section right down below about that in the matter. But this is where we got the main event time with your new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion from a couple weeks ago against Will Hobbs. But before we get into that, I forgot one thing. Like the segment we're going to hear from Chris Jericho. Like now that he's the new All Elite Wrestling, not All Elite Wrestling, the FTW World Champion. And then this is where he's like, and this is where he started bragging into the faces of Jacksonville. This is where he said, like, now Hook, like, this is what I wanted you to listen to me. Like, I want you to sit down and understand. Like, and then like, and I wanted you to stay down. Like, and like in our match, I want you to stay down and let me win so I can guide you on how to be a true champion. Like, but what did you do? Like, you keep getting back up. Like, after 2 different Judas effects, like, and it was surprisingly guaranteed because the whole match, like, I got myself to that point and I didn't need a special card to make it a double whammy guarantee. And then this is where Jericho then said, like, and then you leave me no choice but to hit me, and you leave me no choice but to hit you with my special baseball bat, Floyd, to get the 1, 2, 3. And then this is where we got Excalibur's like forced to like what's your thoughts on this, Taz? And he was like, he was like, your guess is as good as mine. Like, and I don't know what he's saying right now, but what he's saying, the way I'm seeing it, like, is not really good, and he's not doing himself any favors by saying that my son, my baby boy, I'll say not baby boy. That kind of sounds a little cringy, but you get what I mean. Like, my son, like, leading him no choice but to do something so horribly heinous. Like, yeah, I guess I could say, yeah, do something horribly bad to the point that it could cost Hook a concussion that not sure when he's going to be back in AEW, like, just because Jericho wanted him to listen. But that's not the best way to do, like, to be super duper whooper violent just to get his attention. Like, none of that solves your problems, let alone gain you any power, even if you are the championship. But anyways, this is where the Jericho to continue on the promo saying, like, so that's on you, Hook. Like I know that you're helpless then, like, and now you're finally collecting the lessons that you finally learned, like, and now you're gonna have no choice but to side with me, and then you're finally gonna choose me, and now that's gonna be super duper whoopers excited, like, to me. And I'm sorry I keep saying super duper whooper, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, this is where Jericho did like he was like, and yeah, like, there's been plenty of men and women that's been drawn, and the Jericho for 4 times, and then he came out to the other time, even bigger stars that studded than they originally were. And then I was like, no offense, Chris Jericho, like, I think there already were stars, like, even if they were prodigies, like Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara, they always had it in them. Like, and you didn't have to lead them the way, like, entirely just to get them in positions where they're at right now. But anyways, this is where the Chris Jericho to continue saying, like, I'm so extremely excited to say this. And before he can even say what was coming out of his mouth, this is where Big Bill came out. This is where, out of nowhere, this is where the Big Bill did not like what he was saying, like, let alone, like, him talking about Hook when he's not talking about him. And I was like, where did Big Bill have came from? Like, we haven't seen him in I don't know when. Like, but yeah. But seriously, it's been like a month or two, like, since February or March, which I believe was, yeah, back in February, I believe, when, like, which was memorable when they, which was the memorable time when they lost the AEW Tag Team Championships to what's his name, to the AEW Tag Championship with Sting and Darby Allin before Sting retired. And also we saw, also they were in the tournament, which I believe Ricky Starks was legitimately injured, and then they had to have Top Flight win the match, like which the referee was so confused because the match plan was not to have Top Flight win, but when they were concussed, but when he was like concussed, I believe this is where we saw the referee. This is where we saw Dante Martin then hit a tornado DDT to secure that they're gonna win and they're gonna fight FTR in the semifinal. But anyways, yeah, that was the last time we saw Big Bill, like when he was teaming with Ricky Starks in the first round in the AEW Tag Team Championship tournament, which was in March. That's right. And this is where Big Bill was like, I've been in the back for far too long, like, and I'm getting sick and tired of listening to you, Jericho. Like, like. And then this is where he's like, and I have one thing to say to you, Chris. Like, and this is where he gave him the death mugging glare right onto the inaugural AEW World Champion. This is where Big Bill's like, I need the guidance like of the learning tree. Like, and then this is where I was like, oh my god, like man, it looked like that he won a shot at the FTW Championship. But what was the point of coming out here? Like only just to learn a thing or two from Jericho. And then this is where Chris Jericho's like, I'm glad you are starting to get to your senses, Mr. Beal. And then this is where William Morrissey then continue saying, like now, Chris, everybody in the whole entire world is saying like that you're the son, like you are the GOAT and you are the Socrates of all of professional wrestling. No matter what ring you stand on, like you are the legend. Like you always willing to give advice. Like always willing to you are always giving advice here to us boys in the back, and always willing to give a lending hand. Like always, like willing, like to take your last of the established guy, like and bring him right up into the very top, tippity top of the ceiling. And it's all thanks to you, Chris. And then this is where Taz and Hilarious is like, okay, but seriously, like get to your point, Bill. And then this is where Bill's like, I'm already am. And then this is where then he continue on the promo. And then this is where Taz's like, I thought you were in that alliance with my former client Ricky Starks in a smart ass way. And then this is where we got. And then, yeah, this is where Tony Schiavone didn't agree. Or was it Excalibur? No, it was Excalibur. Didn't agree with Taz. Was like, yeah, like what's Big Bill's issue? Like issues within that makes him convinced that he should go to the learning tree of Chris Jericho. And then this is where Big Bill was like there's a long line of guys and like foaming in the mouth, like trying to be right in this very spot with you, Chris. Like and then this is where he's like, and then be a part of you, Chris. And they're trying to be in this vine of the learning tree, or the branch of the learning tree, more likely, metaphorically, of course, yeah. And then this is where he's like, well, I'm the number one guy in line that want to be in that particular branch. And then he's like, so Chris, make this a consideration, like that there is nobody like bigger than me, and nobody that is better fit than I am, Chris, again, for the learning tree. And Chris, you and you know deep down inside that you are you know deep down inside, you know that I am the very best.